Good morning. How are you? And are you getting ready to have some fun this weekend? So, in the last 2 days, I've had a little bit of fun thinking about the holidays and the foods that I no longer eat. The things that I might have eaten as a child, but today I look at them as an adult and it's like, I can't even go there anymore. And that's because of dietary preferences and stuff. But it creates for fun engagement on Facebook. So let me tune in to what it is I want to talk to you about today. Attraction. Most of you who are watching this, you are in the business of attracting new clients or new connections so they can introduce you to someone that you'd like to meet. You know, the old rule of the person that you meet today is the one who may connect you to the one that you'd really like to meet. So you always value all those connections with everyone. But if what you're trying to do is to meet people you've never met before, it's a little bit like dating. I don't like to use the expression picking someone up. Well, you're trying to pick someone up, attract them, uh, let them check you out like they might choose an apple in the store. And it may take a few times chatting or working with them or getting to know them that will help them know you. So people need to know, like, and trust you before they do business. And, in the days before 2020, when many of us would go to networking meetings and stuff, that eye contact was really important to at least know people. Trust comes way later, all right? So if someone comes along and says, "Oh, hi, how are you? Here's my name, here's my card," and then they just filter off somewhere else, they don't even ask you, give you the time to introduce yourself. Um, is that a card you keep? Probably not. So the same thing is going on social media when we do posts sometimes that only have a product name, only have a price. We may even foolishly give up the company's name so someone just goes out, buys off of that website if they're going to buy. I'm not saying they buy, but if they want to buy and they avoid you, you get cut out of the transaction. There are so many subtle things to getting people to know you so that they want to do business with you. And so, as the holidays come up and many of you are looking to sell something, if you're not getting the sales that you want, it's probably time for us to have a conversation. Because I was a big trade show member, participant, whatever you want to call it, where that was my bailiwick. I loved it. I could just talk to any stranger in the world and make sales all day long. Might be a little tired at the end of the day, but I was actually energized doing that. Whereas some of you, that would be an intimidation. But actually, all Facebook or LinkedIn is, you've got to know your audiences. But any of these social media platforms are actually a trade show in which you don't get to make eye contact. Your eye contact is your post, it's your engagement. So there's something about you that has to say, this person's kind of interesting. Let me check them out. And they might be watching you for quite a while. So some of you want to know some of the systems that I use to support how I'm going to post, when I'm going to post, who I post to, the groups that I use. Then that's where you want to get a hold of me at successwithmarla.com. Because in order for people to know you, you have to go beyond your Facebook page. You have to go beyond your stories. You have to be attracting in new connections every day, and you want to get their email. You don't just want to trust this airy fairiness of someone looking at your post. You want to ground out those connections as fast as you can. Now, where can people mess up when they're posting on Facebook? Well, let's go back to those days that you might have been dating, and that's been a long time for me. But I'll never forget some of the fun experiences I had. when somebody would just come up and introduce themselves and start hitting on me or my friends. And we all learned very, very quickly in our 30s. And this is not my early dating, but in my 30s, we learned to ask, how long have you been divorced? Now, why did we do that? Well, the thing is people grieve. People grieve a change in relationship. So if you fired a business coach today and you're talking to me tomorrow, I might need to give you a little space to digest your reasons why. It may be too soon to jump into a relationship. So I might just sample you something that will set another call, and we'll get to know one another. Because if somebody comes to me and says, are you here? I need to know that they're coachable. So that way we both get to know and like one another because we get to do a dance. We get to check it out. Now, what occurred to have that person call me, obviously, was how they've been knowing me either on LinkedIn or Facebook in my posts and what value I've offered. Not what deal I offered, but what value I offered. Value that could help them grow their skill, could help them grow their business. So, attraction. You've got to attract the people you want. And it's not your product that attracts, it's you. You are the attractor, but you can also be the detractor. You can be the person to kill it off. So let's go back to the dating situation again and think of all the times that somebody was just kind of rude and introduced themselves and just assumed they were good looking enough that you were going to go do something with them. Well, we had a fun little sorting process when I was in college where there's 5 of us in an apartment, and I had roommates that were all fraternity little sisters, right? So we started coming home after some of the dates. They loved them, and they saw the guys again. And then there's others where they were telling us about all the lines they got. So we made a line list. We made a list of lines. And when they would come in the door, there's this space here. And one of us would always take up the post. And the sign is right here, all the list of lines. And if we knew that our roommate was really attracted to this person, we'd take some time to kind of give them a heads up. We talk to them, get to know them, and where are you guys going tonight? That type of thing. And we'd say, somehow we'd point out that list. I can't remember now. That was many, many years ago. We'd point out that list. And then we'd say, be sure you don't make the list. Because we knew that she really liked him. And so we gave him a heads up. We gave some of them a heads up. Some of them blew it. They didn't get it. They didn't listen. We gave them hard clues to how to build a relationship with our roommate and not blow it with a silly, crazy, pushy line. Well, the same thing goes on in business. We don't want people to be silly, pushy, making more people go, oh my God, don't pay attention to them. Don't pay attention to them. So when people start knowing you and they start liking you, then you're starting into the trust process. So anytime my roommates got one of those corny lines that basically was just an invitation to go to bed, they all just turned off. It wasn't the objective for the evening, and the trust was lost. Well, the same thing goes for us when we're out here online putting up our posts and having some fun. Sometimes you just got to be goofy. Sometimes you just got to offer some information that's been valuable to you. Sometimes you just need to understand how it is people are going to be interested in you enough to say, that's somebody I should probably ask them questions of. And let's poke around and see if there's somebody I want to listen to, or somebody that could add value to my life, or somebody that could help me with this rough part within my business. So that's what I do every day. is I help you not make the same mistakes that eager people do when they're dating. I'm going to help you build the know, like, and trust that it takes to grow a business over time. And you just have to get a hold of me at successwithmarla.com, or you need to ask me for my daily method of operation in which you can go ahead and practice some skills before we talk. So I have a couple of ways that I can help you. And I want you to know that the end of the year, good morning, that the end of the year is coming. And are you really organized and ready for the first of the year? If not, we should just do a little 15-minute planning session. And you can get that with me too if you just hit on successwithmarla.com. So I look forward to helping you get yourself squared up, ready to go for 2022. But there's no better day than today, October 29th, to get that going. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.